What is going on, guys? It's your boy Infamous coming back at you again with another reaction video. Today, we are reacting to 6 most disturbing abandoned building encounters caught on camera. So, let's see what we got, man. Let's see what we got. Oh, shit. Shh.
Christopher Brian Hill is an urban explorer with a YouTube channel called Urbex Hill. Over the past 10 years, he's been uploading raw footage of his visits to some of the creepiest abandoned buildings in the country, often running into unexpected and sometimes life-threatening situations.
Like what?
Urban explorers like Chris face many dangers. From aggressive stray dogs to hostile squatters to respiratory risks and unsound structures, venturing into an unfamiliar abandoned building is much more risky than it might sound. It's obviously much safer to explore abandoned buildings in the light of day and with a group of friends.
Oh my god, that's just his boy. That's just his boy. I thought, bro, you know what I'm saying? He caught me off guard. He caught me off guard. We were painting. I thought he was alone. And then,
buildings in the light of
I'm
day.
saying, there's this guy right here just chilling, bald as hell. You know what I'm saying?
With a group of friends. But in most of his videos, Chris explores at night and always alone. In June 2022, he visited the abandoned Westinghouse electric factory located in Cleveland, Ohio. Built more than a century ago, the factory originally consisted of 7 different buildings, but most of them have been demolished by now.
Damn.
Even though the Westinghouse Company was established in 1886,
I knew
it
that.
didn't reach Cleveland until 1894.
Oh.
Founded by Thomas Edison, Westinghouse is best known for the notable engineers who worked for the company, including Nikola Tesla and William Stanley. For several decades, the Westinghouse Company rivaled General Electric, and it was last used as a lighting equipment production plant before its abandonment in 1979. For the past 4.5 decades, the abandoned factory has been one of
Oh shit, y'all see that over there? No, I'm just kidding. It's showing off my hair a little bit, you know what I'm saying? I like it.
the hottest urban exploration locations for curious explorers and YouTubers. In 2012, the factory started receiving even more attention after the Black Widow interrogation scene from the first movie of the Avengers was shot there.
No way.
10 years later, Chris made the trip to the abandoned factory and recorded everything he saw. As Chris begins exploring, there doesn't seem to be anyone around, and only the sound of crickets can be heard in the darkness as he walks around the outside of the building. Disturbingly, the sound of gunshots can be heard in the distance less than 5 minutes into the recording. It's worth mentioning that for the past few years, Cleveland has been ranked as one of the top 10 most dangerous cities in the US, making this visit to the abandoned factory even more risky.
That is true. That's true. Damn. Done ain't pot shots out of that bed, bro. Damn, he's good shooting, bro. He sucks. Oh my god, he sucks.
That's Cleveland. Wow.
Are they shooting back?
That's crazy.
So what happens? I'm a civilian, right? I've been on the stoop. You know what I'm saying? I don't be in the street. You know what I'm saying? Most I get is the sidewalk. You know what I'm saying? So, but like, if you're in the streets, right? And you in a gunfight and y'all both run out of bullets, like y'all, and nobody's touched. What happens then? What happens then if both of you guys run out of bullets and nobody, like, do you just leave and come back later? Like, do you just go next or what? I don't know.
It's not even
Yo, could I get some gangbangers in the comment section? Like, what's going on?
that far away from here.
Do gang members watch YouTube?
Oh, that sounds like a shootout.
Chris has experience exploring everything from abandoned mental hospitals and sanatoriums to vacant occult temples, and he shrugs off the fear as he enters the creepy building. Just like in many abandoned buildings, Chris finds a mattress on the floor, meaning at least one person has been sleeping there recently. As he captures footage of the first floor and walks up the stairs to the second floor, all that can be heard in the eerie darkness is the sound of his footsteps. A few minutes later, Chris goes down to the basement, and the footage becomes increasingly creepier as Chris runs into a series of dead ends.
Let's see some creepy shit, man. Y'all should have seen the thumbnail.
Okay, I'm hearing something.
It's a knife.
Maybe it's an animal.
You hearing something? It could be dripping, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, bro,
There's animals down here.
there's animals down here as he proceeds to fucking keep going.
At several points during his exploration of the basement, he can be heard making comments about a strange noise coming from somewhere on that floor, and at first he seems to think it's an animal. Alarmingly, he finds a few shell casings on the ground from what was probably a 9mm handgun. Although it would be pretty unsettling to find something like this lying on the ground in an abandoned factory basement, it's worth mentioning that police departments often use abandoned buildings and complexes for training exercises. However,
Okay.
in this case,
I was about to say, bro, you just put your fingerprints on a bullet, a shell casing. You know what I'm saying? That this could be a crime scene for all we know. You know what I'm saying? But he just explained it, so we're gonna keep
possible
going.
to know if that's really what happened.
Pointless pausing.
Shortly after, he comes across a series of disturbing messages.
I tried
on
my
the
best.
walls. He
You in
continues
his
recording as
home.
he walks down narrow
It's too
corridors,
late
and this is where things get a lot more disturbing.
to apologize. Oh, it was at the bottom there. It's wet. Damn. Oh shit, there's a homeless dude.
Scared the fuck out of me.
Yo, that's a tweaker. That is a tweaker.
Yo,
Don't why are you interacting?
you need some help, bro?
No, yeah. From the proper authorities.
Yo.
Why are we trying to get his attention? Fuck that yeah.
Not even responding. I'm gonna leave him alone.
He in his own world, bro. Like,
God, it's
yeah, he doing his own thing, bro. Like, the last thing you need is him just turn around and start screaming, bro.
After about 20 minutes of exploring, the visit
Chase
takes
you
a
down.
very dark turn
Hell?
as Chris runs into a hunched-over man without a light at the far end of the room.
Like,
He
he's
calls
just
out
down
to
here,
him and
no
asks if he
flashlight,
needs
just
any
chilling.
help, but the man doesn't move or respond, and Chris decides to leave him alone. Understandably, Chris's breathing can be heard getting louder and heavier after the extremely unsettling encounter, but things are only
Strange.
about to get more disturbing for him.
He knows the layout down here. That is crazy.
I'm gonna help that dude out.
Why?
I'm gonna get
He's
this dude a
fine.
$20 bill.
Bro, he's gonna rob you for more. He's gone.
Hey, I got some money for you.
He's gonna fucking sprint around the corner, dog.
He's not there.
This nigga,
And he's not responding.
bro, what the fuck is wrong with this nigga,
About
bro?
4 minutes later, Chris decides to go back to help the man out by giving him a $20 bill. But alarmingly, when he goes back to the room, the man is no longer there. This could be incredibly dangerous, as squatters are known to behave aggressively toward unwanted visitors. And because they know
You're an unwanted visitors.
the place better than anyone else, they can easily hide in the shadows and attack or scare visitors when they least expect it. One theory that many viewers seemed to favor was that maybe the man was not a homeless person at all, but a gang member who was hiding from the
Damn.
shootout that could be heard at the beginning of the video. However, it's impossible to confirm if this was actually the case, and it seems pretty unlikely given
The shooting sounded like it was like blocks away, bro. If this is the same, I think it's the same everything. They haven't switched buildings. I really doubt he ran all. I mean, like, obviously you gonna run, you know what I'm saying? But like, he all the way, and then down there, you know what I'm saying? He looked
Strange
barefoot.
behavior.
Well, not barefoot. He looked like
As
he
he
had like
continues searching
only socks on too. Like,
for the man, Chris notices
that guy's
bats
a meth
flying
head.
around the basement.
That guy does
and
meth.
Things get even more eerie at this point.
or crack, you know.
There's a lot of bats down here, too.
That's so tough. I love bats.
Right when he walks into one of the rooms, if you look closely
What if he
at
gets
the far
lost
left of
down
the
here?
screen, you can actually see the man from earlier standing in what used to be a doorframe, staring at Chris in the
Oh, I was looking at the fucking this thing, dude. Okay, this is okay. Why are we still here? Why are we
darkness.
still here? You know you're not alone at this point. You know what I'm saying? You know you're not alone. This guy is standing right here. That's his foot right there. Just, you know what I'm saying? That's his head. I think right there. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, why are you still here?
Alarmingly, Chris
He
doesn't
doesn't
notice
know.
and continues walking. It's impossible to know how long the man had been following him, and in these kind of situations, it can be hard to gauge the squatter's intentions. A few minutes later, the squatter can be seen walking outside as cars pass by the side of the building. At one point, Chris mentions he thinks the guy said hello, but it can't be heard clearly through the camera audio. Just when he decides to head out, he hears a cell phone vibrate, indicating that there are more people down there
Oh.
with him hiding in the darkness. Having had enough disturbing encounters for the night, he decides to play it safe, and fortunately, he was able to leave the building unharmed.
I hope this nigga be
He
walking
never
around with a
found
gun or something, bro, or you know what I'm saying? Something to defend himself against people who might not be all the way there. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, I'm
Who
just
that man was, and since
saying,
then he hasn't
it's kind of stupid to walk into somebody else's house, because that's what these are. Somebody else's house without, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know.
uploaded
don't
another
know.
video of the Westinghouse factory.
Wait.
This video was recorded in Tartu, Estonia, and
Estonia?
uploaded to YouTube in
Estonia?
August of 2016. In it, a group of 4 teenagers
full
visit
post
an
malone.
abandoned sauna that was built more than a century ago in 1915, back when Estonia was still part of the Russian Empire.
Well, let me try
After
something.
fulfilling its purpose for 80 years, the sauna was decommissioned in 1995. The building
Okay.
remained abandoned for 23 years until in 2018
23
it was fully
Ford.
renovated and turned into a beauty salon, which is still operating as of this video's upload in 2023. In August of 2016, the uploader visited the abandoned location with 3 friends. Upon entering the building, you can see that it looks exactly what you would expect a building that's been abandoned for 21 years to look like. There's an insane amount of mold growing freely on the walls, the heaters are covered in a thick layer of rust, the floor is full of holes, and the entire structure looks like it could collapse at any second.
But
Throughout
let's
the
walk
video,
around
the
it,
teenage
right?
explorers also run into some disturbing messages on the walls. An especially eerie one reads, "You can't hide," and there are also several creepy drawings of stick figures graffitied on the walls in some of the other rooms. For the first few minutes of the visit, other than the disturbing messages and some loose shoes and other personal belongings,
See,
there
like,
doesn't seem
I can understand the rush of running into, you know what I'm saying, an abandoned building and just seeing what's there, maybe smoking a little bit, a cigarette, you know what I'm saying? And then, I don't know. I feel like exploring it to this extent, like to the point where you could get lost or like fall through something, you know what I'm saying? I feel like that's taking it a little far. You know,
to be any indication that somebody could be living there or had even visited the location recently. However, about 20 minutes into the visit, one of the teenagers finds a door frame covered by a curtain, and they decide to explore the room.
And they explored it.
Cái gì quyết liệt thật cái anh rồi nó bố đặt xin đi mà xin đi con cái gì
I'm saying, bro, like you gonna explore that?
As one of the explorers shines a flashlight into the room, a gut-wrenching scream can be heard coming from the shadows. Immediately, the 4 teenagers run out of the building in a panic. When they finally step outside, the sun is already set, and the boys get into the car to flee from the location.
Yeah.
Although the explorer was too busy running to show footage of the screaming man,
Did
it's
anybody
more
get
than
that?
likely that it was a homeless resident of the abandoned building who wasn't expecting visitors.
Yeah.
Still, it must have been extremely disturbing to experience something like that, even if they went together as a group. After that day in 2016, the boys never went back to the abandoned
2016,
salon
man.
again. In March of 2022, YouTubers Megan
Why was his eyes so open?
and Chris uploaded
Like, look at how open his eyes are. Married in 1987, Barbara and Frank Thompson seem to have a promising future ahead of them. Barbara, born in 1937, was talented and ambitious woman who had worked her way up to the corporate ladder in 1986. She became the director secretary of a successful company where she showcased her exceptional to be
a new
continued.
video to their channel, Back in Time MC, in which they showed footage of their visit to a rundown old farmhouse somewhere in the UK. In the caption, they mentioned that they found an entry point through an open window around the side of the house. Based on the state of disarray the farmhouse is in, it's clear that nobody has been maintaining it for quite some time.
Ew.
The floor is covered in leaves and cobwebs, the shoes
Ew.
look dusty and unused, and there are even a couple of
left
dead
everything?
animals lying on the floor, along with some
Damn.
shotgun shells lying on top of a bedside table.
Oh.
The only clues that indicate somebody could have been at the location relatively recently are that one of the light bulbs in one of the bedrooms looks relatively new, and some of the clothes in the closet look only gently
true.
used. Based
That's
on the
also
pictures
true.
that Chris finds on different shelves and hung up on the walls, it appears as if a family of at least 4 children used to live in the farmhouse. As the couple continues with the exploration, they walk into one of the upstairs bedrooms, where they find something very unexpected.
Oh.
Thin, narrow piece of carpet that comes all the way across. Absolutely
He going
nuts.
right through that fucking them planks, bro.
Yeah, so we'll
No?
come into this
Okay.
bedroom here.
A walker? No Hezekiah? Let me hear my Christians in the.
Oh my god! Help! You're alive! You know, man,
You live in here. You can't live in here.
You can't live in here?
no!
What? You can't live in here? Bro, why are you minding other people? Are you going to tell? This person is clearly down on their luck. You going to tell them, yeah, you got to go. You got to go. I'm not supposed to be in here either, but you got to go. What? What does that make? What does that make?
Real can't. Look
We
at
thought
it.
it was abandoned. We thought it was abandoned.
You can't live in here.
Oh! Bro, this is a resident.
When he first walked into the room, Chris didn't notice that there was someone asleep in the bed. It wasn't until Meg walked in and made a noise that the woman sleeping in the bed woke up and gave them the scare of their life. Although the uploaders blurred the woman's
Yeah, that walker is not dusty
face
at all.
out of respect for her privacy, it's clear that she's pretty old. During the conversation, she tells the couple that she doesn't have any family that could take her to live somewhere else less depressing. Out of
Damn.
sheer kindness, Chris and Meg keep the lady company and try their best to understand her situation. She introduces herself as Jane, and over the next 10 minutes, they ask her questions about how she ended up living all alone in an abandoned farmhouse.
Yeah.
Thanks to the couple's empathy, the initial shock of being startled by the sleeping old lady and seeing her living in such terrible conditions quickly turns into a heartwarming moment in which the three of them talk about each other's lives.
Oh, we talk about life
What
now.
happened was I came here to help somebody,
Okay.
and this is only for a week I'm coming.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that was 1993.
Oh God.
Wow, so you've been here nearly 30 years.
Yeah.
Disturbingly, Jane mentions she's been living in the abandoned farmhouse for 30 years, and even though Chris and Meg offer to help her, bring her food, and buy her clean clothes and sheets, she seems hesitant to accept anything from them, claiming that she's fine living the way she does.
What the fuck?
She
I don't know.
mentions
I don't
that
want to know what's
even
in
though it's
those
not
buckets.
her house, the men who work at the farmhouse know she's there, and they bring her food and water every day.
Okay.
In a touching moment at the end, the couple agrees with Jane to visit her again soon. This would have been a happy ending to the story, but Chris and Meg included a caption at the end of the video that cast the situation in a more disturbing light. The caption reads,
Okay.
I did a lot of research to try and find the name of the farm and whom it was owned by.
I did a lot of research
Luckily,
to
I got
find.
the information needed, and I even got a message from someone who knew the farmer who farms there. Chris goes on to explain that the man who reached out to him also knew that Jane was living there, and that the farmer also lives in the farmhouse with her. According to the man, Jane is very well cared for, but
There's somebody else living in there, and it looks like that. Can y'all just go somewhere else? Where do they live? You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't live with them, or like just toss her in a nursing home. I think this is prime nursing home. I know old people don't like to be tossed in nursing homes, but a nursing home would be way better than this. I'm just saying. But they cost money though.
chooses to live in those terrible conditions anyway. The man also mentioned that Jane's husband is up there constantly to make sure she's okay, but she doesn't accept his help very easily, or anyone's help for that matter.
Wait, she said
It's worth
he
it
goes
is up
back?
there constantly to make sure she's to him also knew that Jane was living there with her. According to the man, Jane is very well cared for, but she chooses to live in those terrible conditions anyway.
Okay.
The man also mentioned that Jane's husband is up there constantly to make sure she's okay, but
He explained that her husband is up there constantly and that she won't accept help very easily, and despite everyone's efforts chooses to live like that. I was told that she also has a brother. Everybody in her family is fucking failing her right now because clearly she's not well. Clearly she's not well. And y'all are just like, all right, hey man, she all right, you know what I'm saying? She gonna live or not.
she doesn't accept his
That's
help very
crazy.
easily, or anyone's
Your husband is cool with you living over here by yourself.
help for that matter. It's worth mentioning that Jane might not have been completely truthful about her situation to Chris and Meg. During their conversation, she mentioned that she didn't have anyone to care for her except for the farmer, but the man who knew the farmer told Chris that she also has a brother who tries to take care of her.
She's
Not entirely convinced by what the man told him, Chris continued digging for information and found that the farm was not on any land registry records, but there was another property to Jane's name that she owned between 1986 and 2015. After visiting the other property, Chris mentioned that it was as unkempt and beat up as the farmhouse itself. Having heard two different versions of the story from the man who contacted him and from Jane herself, he
honestly,
decided
some of
to
these rooms just look like, you know what I'm saying, the hoarder houses that you saw on TLC or wherever, whatever.
contact
wherever
Adult
that show was.
Social Services. This is the email he received from them. Good morning, thank you for your email. I can confirm that Adult Social Care are aware of this lady, however, I'm not able to provide you with any further details. We appreciate your input and the information you have provided, and thank you for raising your concerns with us. Chris then told the man who contacted him to tell Jane that he and Meg would be happy to go back and visit her if she wanted them to. After this, there were no further updates on the old woman, and we'll likely never know what became of her. The only thing we know for sure is that if someone else decides to explore the abandoned farmhouse in the future, they'll likely run into the same situation as Chris and Meg. Sadly, this type of situation is much
I doubt it.
more common than many people realize. With rising prices and the overall state of the global economy,
AI?
a large part of the elderly population is being forgotten. Hopefully, Jane can accept some help from her family members.
Wait, was that AI? I think that was AI, right? 2 years ago, possibly. Possibly.
And live out the rest of her days in
Oh,
much
wait,
better
like the
and
video,
healthier
like the video?
conditions than the
Yeah.
one she was in when the video was uploaded. Robert Fulton Elementary is an abandoned
Bobby.
school in a pretty rough neighborhood of Cleveland, Ohio.
Damn.
The building is 92 years old and has been abandoned for over 13 years.
Okay.
After several complaints from nearby residents who mentioned that the abandoned building was an eyesore, a potential crime hotspot, and that it was lowering the value of their properties, the mayor of Cleveland announced plans to turn the rundown old building into a high-quality, mixed-income housing unit for the community. Although the idea is still in the planning stages and the city needs more funding to complete the project, the plan is for the renovations to begin by the end of 2024. For now, Robert Fulton Elementary remains one of the creepiest abandoned schools in the country. In May of 2023, Chris Hill,
Wait,
again from the YouTube
Didn't
channel
he say that this was a fucking? It wasn't a lower. Like y'all worried about your?
Urbex Hill uploaded a video in which he made a second visit to the boarded-up, abandoned elementary school. The first video he made of the school was back in 2022. During his first visit, he heard strange humming, chanting, creaking, and banging noises coming from different rooms. This was part of the description in the first video. Most sections of the building are falling apart, and the water and elements have done irreversible damage to the structure.
Damn.
I would not recommend anyone explore this school. You risk getting robbed or worse. With that being said, I heard weird noises and other various things during my exploration. After these incidents, the vast majority of people would have been too terrified to even think of going back. But 2 years later, Chris decided to make a second visit to the school alone at 1 a.m.
But he spun back at 1 a.m. That I've never seen a chair like disintegrated to that extent before. Holy shit! This look like Silent Hill, bro. This
From
dead
the very
look like
beginning
exactly
of the
like
footage,
Silent
it's
Hill.
clear that Robert Fulton Elementary belongs in a different
Like the
category of
movie.
abandoned buildings than most others.
I haven't played the game.
What
Yet.
stands out the most about the building is the fact that just over a decade ago, children were learning in those classrooms, running and playing in the halls, and now it looks more like something out of a horror movie than a school. The eeriness of the location, the pitch darkness, and the extreme state of decay of the building all contribute to the school's incredibly creepy atmosphere, and not a lot of people would dare go in there at night, much less alone. For a building that has only been abandoned for 13 years, Robert Fulton Elementary is in a much worse state than other buildings that have been vacant for much longer. But Chris doesn't seem to mind as he captures footage of the dark corridors with peeling walls and random debris lying all over the floor. As he
He's going here
ventures
with
deeper into the
boots,
school,
or is he just going
Chris
here with
starts hearing
kicks?
strange noises, but nobody seems
Rip
to be
Ron,
around,
bruh.
and he continues his exploration in the chilling silence. The underlying structure in some of the rooms on the upper floors seems extremely unstable, but
Yeah,
Chris
I wouldn't
shows his
go in there.
expertise in urban exploration
like a
by avoiding
DVD
the
map,
surfaces
bro.
that crack under his feet. After about 15 minutes of exploring the top floors, Chris goes down into the basement, which is arguably the most deteriorated part of the school. As he explores the dark rooms, he finds some indications that other people could be living there. Interestingly, he also finds what appears to be a boiler room that's been flooded with water.
Don't get out of there. Just get out of there. Just leave. Hold on. Probably somebody smashing their head against something.
At around the 30-minute mark, a loud banging noise can be heard coming from one of the rooms, and it becomes very clear that Chris is not alone. As he steps into one of the classrooms, he finds a very eerie message written on the chalkboard, which reads, "Don't explore alone," as well as a paper sign on the door that reads, "Keep out." Despite the clear warnings, he goes inside.
This gotta be the stupidest nigga I've ever fucking. Bro, are you fucking serious, bro? Are you fucking serious?
Only to
see
find
let's
more
see what's
signs
inside.
that somebody's living there. This is where Chris's visit to Robert Fulton
Smoking
Elementary
black
takes
and
a
miles
very
and drinking
chilling
whatever the
turn.
fuck that is. I just before he gets jumped, I feel like after you know what I'm saying, after if there's a sign there and you're in an abandoned building and all bets are off, I feel like he is exposed to being attacked here. You know what I'm saying? This is like, bro, what are we doing? Why are we? You're gonna go even further in here?
Fearing for his life after hearing the blood-curdling scream, he sprints out of the building to safety, hoping that the man wasn't following him. If you look closely at the footage, you can see the outline of the screaming man when Chris peels back the curtain to his room. Upon reviewing the footage later that night, he found something.
I'm going back for us. I'm going back for us. Yeah, this is like the most replayed part of the video.
At the footage, you can see the outline of the screaming man when Chris peels back the curtain to it.
I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it. That scream could have been put in post.
His room. Upon reviewing the footage later that night, he found something else even more unsettling. When he first walked into the building, his camera caught something that he didn't notice at the time. In the distance, a man's shadow can be seen walking into one of the rooms. It's not clear where the man went after that, but based on the strange noises Chris heard throughout his visit, it's very likely that the man was watching him all along.
Damn.
Although the scream was terrifying to hear, and we can only imagine what Chris must have felt at that moment, it's worth mentioning that the room he entered was probably the man's home, and from the squatter's perspective, it was probably just as terrifying to see a random man pull back the curtain to his room.
At 1:30 a.m.
can often get violent very quickly.
Exactly.
But thankfully, Chris once again made it out safely.
What are we doing?
He hasn't uploaded new footage of the location since then. This footage was uploaded in October 2019 by YouTuber Baker X Derek, a tour guide from San Bernardino, California. One day, as he was riding his motorcycle on the highway in California, he noticed an abandoned house.
Y'all ain't see it.
California.
What's going on right here, Baker? What is this? What is this for? Huh, sir? Thought we wouldn't see it.
One day, as he was riding his motorcycle on the highway in California, he noticed an abandoned house sitting on top of a hill and decided to take a look inside. From the very beginning of the footage, it becomes clear that somebody has already been there, and that it probably wasn't the original owners of the house. Unlike many abandoned buildings, you can tell this house used to be beautiful before it was vacated.
Chat. Do you think somebody broke out or broke in? Broke out or broke in? Who can know?
He's already been there.
Who knows?
And that it probably wasn't the original.
Oh, no, clearly out, because this is... They're all except for, you know what I'm saying? You can see this was broken apart as it was being ripped open. You know what I'm saying? So it's...
of the house.
Whatever.
Unlike many abandoned buildings, you can tell this house used to be beautiful before it was vacated, but that doesn't make it any less creepy to visit, even in the middle of the day.
His breathing is the scariest thing about this place. It's so bright.
Dude, that dark room. I kept feeling something was gonna jump out at me. What's down here?
This nigga doing scary ASMR.
I think I hear somebody.
So let's go. Hit him up.
Something.
No flashlight or nothing. He's so slow. I'd have been on my bike by now.
Derek goes down to explore one of the rooms on the bottom floor, and this is where he hears a disturbing thud. Terrified, he makes a run for it and even trips and falls on his way out, but eventually he gets back on his motorcycle and flees the location. As per one of the most popular theories proposed by viewers, the noise was probably made by a homeless person who was trying to warn Derek to get out of his home. Although squatters don't spend all their time lurking in the shadows, it's common for them to use the darkness as a tool when someone comes into the building unannounced. It's a basic rule of urban exploration that if you hear a loud noise upon entering a room, you should probably leave. Sometimes squatters make a noise as a first and final warning to drive visitors away respectfully. If Derek had pushed forward, he may have been attacked by whoever was hiding in the darkness. It's a natural impulse to call out and announce your presence in these kinds of situations, but squatters will very rarely answer these calls in a normal way. Nobody likes to be seen living in those conditions, and more often than not, the response will be rather aggressive and sometimes even violent. Fortunately, in this case, Derek was able to get away from the potentially dangerous situation just in time.
Damn.
In Central Ontario, Canada, there's a small community south of Port Elgin known as North Bruce. To the locals, however, it's known as the Devil's Elbow. According to John, the urban explorer who uploaded this video,
abandoned occult mansion exploration.
The reason for the name was that there was once an occult high priest who lived in the mansion at a cul-de-sac, in which the townspeople used to think there was paranormal activity due to the occult rituals the priest used to perform in his home. The mansion has since been abandoned, and as of today, nobody wants to buy it or live in it due to its chilling atmosphere and sketchy past.
So I heard it's cheap then.
According to John, some renovations have been made sporadically since the house was vacated, but as of the video's upload, the house was still abandoned. In 2019, John set out to explore the occult mansion alone at night, but things didn't go exactly as he planned. In comparison to other abandoned buildings, the mansion seems to be in relatively good shape, except for the garage, which has clearly seen better days. About 5 minutes into the exploration, John starts to hear strange noises upstairs, but they seem to quiet down as soon as he climbs the set of stairs.
You heard the noises? He heard the noises, and then against the breaking into homeless people's homes etiquette, he pushes forward.
Guys, I think
Okay, kind of rude,
I've been
but
hearing stuff upstairs, but I'm hoping, and I mean this, I really hope that it's paranormal.
is he
And
alone
I'm
here?
freaking in here.
Honestly, I feel like you're more likely to find a homeless person than a ghost. I'm gonna be real. In this situation, yes. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna say ghosts aren't real. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying spirits are, you know what I'm saying? They be, you know, this shit we can't see, bro. However, you're going upstairs after hearing noises. The ghost isn't up there bumping into shit, bro. What are you thinking? Oh, it's painting. Yeah, you're making noises, nigga.
Freaking somebody down there, dude. Come on, quit messing with me. I'm just trying to freaking. I'll leave.
I'll leave.
Guys, in here. Guys, I've got myself in a bad situation.
I'm jumping out the window, bro. Like, what? He's still pushing forward.
Disturbingly, as he walks around upstairs, the noises can be heard again, even louder this time, leading John to think that perhaps someone else is in there messing with him. Although he mentions loudly to whoever is in there with him that his only intention is to explore and that he doesn't want to bother anyone, whoever was making the noise doesn't respond and continues hiding. The noises stop for a couple minutes, but then something terrifying happens.
Oh,
Let's pour it off. Oh my god, freaking.
they turned on the light? The lights work?
Is there somebody here? I'm not here to bother or rob anything. I was just here exploring. I thought it was a band.
Disturbingly, a man's voice can be heard screaming, "I'm gonna kill you," and before catching a glimpse of who it is, John runs out of the mansion immediately and doesn't look back until he's a safe distance away from the building.
This type of thing, obviously, it's the smart thing to do to run, but it's a smarter thing to go in here armed. You know what I'm just saying? If you're gonna do something stupid, at least have a get out of jail free card. You know what I'm saying? Like, is that a get out of jail free card? Because you're low key. You're low key, but they're squatters. You know what I'm saying? But it's like they're not their property, but they were there first. You're low key the aggressor in that situation, but like, I don't know, man. I don't know.
It's unknown.
All I know is I wouldn't be in this situation at all.
In the house, or how long they'd been watching him, or even if they had bad intentions or were just messing with him. According to several viewers, it's very.
I feel like if I don't see somebody and I hear I'm gonna fucking kill you, I'm gonna assume you're serious. You know what I'm saying? If I'm in this situation, I'm just gonna assume you're serious. I'm not gonna, this guy's gonna fucking kill me, bro. It's whatever. Yeah. This is John, bro.
Unlikely that the other person in the house was another explorer. In the urban exploration community, people usually help each other out, and there's a sort of code that every explorer sticks to in order to help keep creepy locations as safe to visit as possible. If the other person in the house was another explorer, making noises in an abandoned house and screaming, "I'm going to kill you," would obviously be very out of the ordinary. That leaves the question of who could have screamed at John. It's more than likely that it was just a homeless person who didn't want any visitors, but because John ran out before he could see anyone, this much will probably remain unknown forever.
Well, GG's. Hopefully, y'all enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like, and if you didn't, still leave a like in this video. Boy, have a mess. Peace.